we're back live at the Atlanta Innovation Studio powered by MailChimp. Really excited to be sitting next to two very special guests who are near and dear to my heart. To my immediate left is Mark Wilson, CEO of Chime Solutions. And to my far left is Ryan Wilson, CEO of The Gathering Spot. We also have Dwayne Haley, who is of the Metro Atlanta Chamber. And just want to say welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Before we get into this conversation, just want to ask both of you, like personally, like how are you doing? How's business? What's going on with you?
Yeah, first off, I'm glad to be here, excited to be participating in this conversation. It's actually the first time that I've done an interview with my son.
Oh, wow.
As entrepreneurs, first time.
Wow.
So I'm excited to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm doing well. I mean, I have a new granddaughter that's the joy of my wife and I's life right now, and business is good. Things are just moving really well there. My daughter is about to start a new venture. Everything is good in our family right now. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Ryan?
I can't complain. So that grandchild is my child. So I'm busy at the house, but the company is still rolling. We've opened another location, getting ready to open another location, and so thank you. I can't complain. It's been a busy almost 2 years now, being in the pandemic, but I'm proud to say we've endured.
Nice. So this is actually a fantastic segue, because I was going to ask you, like, you're a new parent, you've been at this for a while. Family has always kind of been at the core of your businesses, right? Ryan, how's that shifted for you? I know a lot's changed. You're still traveling, still building a very successful business. Like, how's that balance going for you?
I mean, it's been okay. I mean, I got a good head start where I was in the house. My daughter was born last April, so there wasn't anywhere to be but at home, and that helped a lot. But I've also had a really good example. My parents have never been too far in my life, and so I saw what it was to have a demanding kind of entrepreneurial effort happening at the same time as having a strong family unit. So, I don't know if there's ever kind of a perfect place to be.
Right?
Yeah, but we're doing okay.
It's good to hear. So one of the things I want to touch on is actually kind of fascinating about both of the companies that you've built is culture is very important to both of those, right? Both internal and external culture. So obviously we're still in a bit of a pandemic, right? How has culture shifted or changed? Have you thought about the business and just employees and all of that during the pandemic?
I actually think that it's just made my commitment to it firmer. What it's done is sort of highlighted the need and the challenge that a lot of folks have in their day-to-day life, where they're trying to balance what's happening for them socially and what's required of them at work. And so I've just tried to stay true to what we're doing as a business with supporting our folks and trying to go further now. Before the pandemic, we had everybody working in office, and so we didn't have a work at home setup. Our technology didn't call for it, any of that. And I knew that we had a responsibility to keep continuity going for both our clients and for the people that work on our team in our company. So we were able to get the technology adjustments made and get everybody set up at home where they can be safe and they can still enjoy, being employed. So I would say, for me, it's just made it more intense.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, we've all felt that. And Ryan, I mean, on club number 3, almost ready. I mean, gosh, shifting to a digital model, still building clubs, launching. How's it been for you?
I mean, so we're operating in 8 cities right now, and it's been a big transition. I mean, y'all have seen TGS, it's its early days, and it was one thing to focus on for a long time. We've got folks basically on a plane somewhere every day, right? And adjustments for me have really come in small things, right? I got off of a flight the other day, and I got a notification for an event that we hosted in LA. And to not be there for the event and to not know how it went and not know anything about it, I've had to make some serious adjustments in just how we show up and how I show up.
Now I know that was unheard of, 3-4 years ago, right? Like, where you wouldn't know what was going on inside of the business. Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting updates. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's an important point because, you know, as CEOs, owners of business, leaders in business, you have to develop your people and get them to a place where the maturity that they have about what you're doing as a business, that you can trust them to execute. And that's good. I mean, it's really all what we've been all about is development for everybody, right? So what Ryan's talking about here is, you know, going from when there had to be his involvement in everything to where it's not necessarily required now. So
it's like the evolution of a CEO. You become different versions of an executive throughout the tenure of the business.
It's where I'm the most proud.
Yeah.
When I can see the growth and development of my leadership team around the core principles that we're trying to promote as a company. It's the thing that I feel one of the things I feel the best about.
Another thing that's also been at the core of both of your models is community, right? It is rooted, grounded in community. So a lot of you may not know about Chime Solutions, but I'm here to tell you it is an incredible model built by an incredible man. I want to allow you a second just to talk about Chime and what you're doing across the country, which are your 10,000 by 10,000.
Well, I mean, we're in the outsourced call center business. We provide customer service on behalf of our clients, and that has at the center of it job creation. So we just tried to be practical about how it is that the job creation part of what we do could have benefit and impact to our community. So we just thought, let's take the jobs where the folks are and communities where there's historically been an underinvestment in, that if we could take our model there, create jobs, and have people have a chance to be all that they can be, that by extension we would impact the community. And so it wasn't really rocket science. It's fairly simple, you know, that you have talent in places where it doesn't get a chance to flourish. Why not go there for what we have in our company, jobs? Why not go there and take advantage of the talent for our customers' benefit and have people grow because of it? So it's been great. We started in South Atlanta. We went from there to South Dallas. You know, it's kind of where most of the underinvestment is. There's a theme here, South everywhere. And so we went to South Dallas, and now into Charlotte, and with intention trying to get other places in the country to try to have everybody share in the tremendous growth that we have as a company right now. We started out with a goal of 10,000. We haven't got to the 10,000 yet, but I can assure you everybody thinks that more than 10,000 is possible. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Wayna, I'm gonna kick it over to you.
Oh, okay. Well, we've heard a lot today about the entrepreneurial journey and how it can be long, hard, tough, taking more L's than you do W's, even though the W's can be really significant.
Yeah.
And so I'm very interested in, one, how that I've heard many of your stories. I've not been privy to many with Mr. Wilson, but understanding that you have equipped your son for this journey. How have you equipped him to be an entrepreneur?
I just try to, Shelly and I, my wife and I, have just tried to keep it really simple for our kids. You know, people are important, and our people are important. You know, we don't want anybody to have any different idea about that, and we've just tried to keep that front and center for the both of them to learn. And I'm so proud to see what Ryan is doing with the Gathering Spot, because at the center of that is community. I mean, it is, you know, us and we all we got, and all of the themes that come out of what he's doing at TGS. It's definitely a pride point for Shelly and I. It's just keeping it simple and keeping people first, trusting God. I mean, those are core principles that you don't have to work hard at it, you know, you just live it. And so I'm really proud to see that both my kids are, you know, running with it.
There were some dark days in the beginning, some days where you didn't always know. You had the vision, you had the belief, but sometimes practically what you were seeing in front of you was tough to kind of believe in tomorrow. So how did you get yourself through?
I don't know. I mean, part of it, I was really young, right? But I had a village around me between my family and my co-founder TK, where when I might not necessarily have been the most optimistic, he was, right? Or sometimes we both weren't, but there was somebody else that had that energy. And I mean, it worked itself out. I mean, I did listen to and experience to a certain extent some of the lessons learned in my parents' companies. So I knew that endurance was a part of the process, right? You really just had to figure out how to get to the next day. That's what we stay focused on. I still don't know if we're there yet. I mean, I stay as an entrepreneur probably with constant pressure and really the belief that there's more to do. But those early days, you need them in a certain sense. We learned the business during that time in a way that I don't think we would have had we not had to go through what I've been describing as the crunch. I mean, and it's a real part of the journey.
Well, we've heard a lot also today about the Atlanta innovation tech ecosystem, sort of the community that exists around entrepreneurs, and how it's really, really different than other cities where maybe in Silicon Valley it may be very dog eat dog, but here it's very community driven, where you see a man, see a woman trying to get there, you give them the resources, you help them out. How has that experience been for the two of you at anchoring your businesses here in Atlanta?
I'll start. I mean, I think Atlanta is one of the more important cities in the country right now, and if not the most important, honestly. The connection between so many different types of people in different industries, where we're really not defined by anything here. If you're in other markets, it's politics or finance or entertainment. That's the thing that you expect most people to be in. But in Atlanta, you really have the opportunity to be in it all, right? And we know each other across those lines here. And because everything's kind of growing at the same time, this makes the time that we're in this city, I think, something that we'll all look back on and really be proud of. We're direct, we represent what Atlanta is about. I mean, again, I had an idea here, the community supported it. That could have happened in other places, but Atlanta has the special fabric to make more ideas. Part of what even is happening here. We can see things happen here in ways that I just don't think that you're going to find places.
Great.
Everything Ryan said.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Ryan, I've had the pleasure of working with you, grinding, running at things. So I know at the core what innovation means to you, right? But for a lot of people, I just want you to kind of talk about that a little bit. How important it is to always be in the business of your business and constantly looking at ways to pivot, innovate, and thinking about the future. Can you just speak to that for a minute?
I mean, so I learned this from my dad, right? There's no, honestly, bigger thinker and person that I know that's willing to look at and absorb risk than what he is. And again, that's not undue risk. It's not risk that's not thoughtful or connected to a strategy, right? But you've got to constantly be trying to figure out the best possible way to bring whatever it is that you're doing to market, right? And the second that you stop that process, that's really where a gap exists in the market for somebody else to come in with that energy. So I try to wake up every day and challenge myself and our team to figure out what is the next thing that we can do, realizing that folks don't really care about what you did yesterday. They really want to understand what you're going to do tomorrow. And that's been a driving force for us the entire time.
How about you?
Well, I mean, I think it gets back to what we've been talking about around community and whatever. And I think primarily in the African American community, what we've suffered with for a variety of reasons is a smallness of thought. And so I'm always coaching against that, and and trying to, by our example, show that we're capable, and that what comes with that is just dedication to whatever it is that you're trying to do, and being thoughtful, being studious, studying what it is. And if you do, all things are really possible. You can't limit yourself. I've never thought that it can't be done, whatever it is. You just have to live with that optimism, is my belief. And I think what's key about that too is that if there are folks that are experiencing success, any level of success, that they have to promote that as well. We got to go, because not everybody's built that way. and you have to go and make sure that you are encouraging people and that they get a chance to understand that they too can do whatever it is that they set their mind to. So.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite quotes that I keep to this day that Ryan uses all the time is, "Small ideas will keep you small," right? Right?
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Right.
That's his quote. I
know.
Right.
Give proper credit where it's due.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about all the things that are, iconic in terms of brands or whatever right now, it was somebody's thought. I mean, they just thought about it and it felt like it could get done. Why is it that we shouldn't think and act and be like that? I mean, I think, again, just talking about the minority community, African Americans, and to be specific, I think there are a lot of reasons for it that are systemic, but we have to be intentional about breaking out of it. And it's definitely something that I'm focused on trying to promote, and I've tried to do with Ryan, with Lauren, and all of our leaders in our company. We try to get everybody in our company to realize, for whatever it is that they're doing, they can do it at a much higher level. So, yeah.
Kick it back over to you, Dwayne.
No, I'm just elated to be able to have this conversation with you guys, and I know they're wrapping us up. So I would say, for parting words, one of the things we've been asking all CEOs is for that one line of encouragement. Somebody is watching. We've sent this out to our Choose ATL followers, who are also young millennial and Gen Z talent that are trying to figure out what's next for themselves or what they should be. So what's the encouragement? If they're looking at Mr. Wilson and they're looking at Ryan and they're saying, "Oh man, I think that might be it." What's the one line of encouragement for them?
All things are possible. All things are really possible. It's not saved for somebody else. You too can be successful. You can reach your full potential. You just gotta stay committed to it. You mentioned L's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a path. That's just a path to a W. That's all it is.
I mean, I'll build off of that. I mean, I think that for anybody that's in that stage of the journey, know that the idea that you have, it isn't random, right? And I'm a big believer in understanding your assignment. My assignment, I thought was going to be one thing, and it turned out to be a different thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that you have been placed with, and I think you should view it that way, that's something that is for you, and we need to see it happen, right? I mean, moving that idea from an idea stage to execution, to my dad's point, it's for you, right? And we expect in many ways for you to do it because, again, you got to be a good steward of the thing that's been placed with you.
Love it. Well, thank you both so much for joining us in our Atlanta Innovation Studio today. We are going to be signing off today. I hope you've enjoyed listening to all of the amazing wisdom that has come from the CEOs we've been fortunate to speak with. Join us back again tomorrow at noon, where we will kick off with Katie Kirkpatrick, who is our boss lady, CEO of the Atlanta Metro Chamber, and she will be joined by Marty Flanagan, CEO of Invesco, as well as Ben Chestnut, CEO of MailChimp. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon.